I want to introduce to you tonight something that is called a 3 to 6 month plan. It's just a front and back single single page document. It's also more reproducible than, a long thing. So I just want to walk through it because it goes through the 5 T's. All right. So at the top left, you have a network or team name. So like who are you working with? So you can come up with a name. Maybe it's, just um right now maybe it's just you. So it's like it's Shelby and Daniel team. Or hey, there really is an Arab Arlington team. You can call it the Arab Arlington team. And then we're going to work with you through developing target a sticky vision. Because whenever you start networking and vision casting, you want to have a sticky vision that you can communicate pretty quickly and that people remember. And then we've talked about the Father's heart. What is the verse that you're going to go back to? Like when Clint said, it's going to get hard. What is the verse you're going to go back to? Is it Revelation 7:9? Is it Matthew 24:14? Because this is on the document. This is a working document. So you're going to outline those things. And then you're going to answer the question of target. What is a win? So what people segment, what location focus, and what extent of gospel transformation do you want to see? So for most of us to really steward strategy and see the whole apostolic task, our extent of gospel transformation is healthy, indigenous, reproducing churches. So churches that are healthy, they're indigenous, they're led by our people segment, and they're reproducing, meaning they're planting churches that are planting churches. And then again, we've talked about prayer, but what are significant prayer points? And so just a couple prayer prompts that I've put is what is the most significant spiritual barrier? So for like maybe Hindus or Buddhists, universalism is one of the biggest spiritual barriers. For Muslims, maybe it's their belief that the Bible is corrupt is one of your biggest spiritual barriers. But list the key spiritual barriers, and then even as you start to mobilize prayer, you know what you're mobilizing it to. The second one is what is your team's most crucial need for seeking a breakthrough? Do you just need a believer? Do you need 5 believers? Maybe it's financial resources. Maybe it's a team member. Maybe you need a hot coal. Maybe you need a fruitful practitioner from another area to come in. Start praying for that. And then this question is probably all answer the same way forever is, do you have enough laborers for this season of ministry? If not, start praying Luke 10:2. Pray for more laborers. So all that's aligned with target. And then we're going to start looking at teams. So teams is we're looking at 3 or more leaders that you're giving your time to. And it talks about faithful, available, teachable, and reproducing leaders. And then we just kind of lock this out as we have these 3 people and we say, what are the next steps to help your leaders move forward with the skills they need? And again, remember, this is a 3 to 6 month plan. Let's say you get a, Rob, let's say you're working with Kurd and you get a Kurdish believer and he's reaching out. You put his name here as one of those guys and you're thinking through what is it for the next 3 to 6 months I need to help equip this leader in? Maybe he needs vision. Maybe he needs to clarify target. Maybe he needs a training package. Maybe he needs, but you're defining that. And that's your goal for 3 to 6 months of, I'm going to invest deeply in this guy because he's faithful, he's available, he's teachable, and he's reproducing. Meaning he may be just reproducing his testimony, but he's taking what he's learning and passing it on to others. Remember, training and is answering the question, how do I multiply? So for this 3 to 6 months, I'm going to list out, hey, what are the networks, the churches, the individuals, the ministries that I want to cast a vision for training? And over the next 3 to 6 months, these are the people I want to train. These are the groups I want to train to reach my people. So that's the front side. Then the back side, tools. So you have the 4 fields diagram there on the right side. And what we want you to do is we want you to write in 1 to 2 tools for each field that you commit to use for this 3 to 6 month period. It's not that you don't do other tools, but if you want to reproduce things, you have to have a level of consistency. So maybe you're trying some other things. So when we talk about tools, we'll talk about, tweaking tools and all of those things. But what is it that you're modeling and you're training and you're committing to? So if you're working with Hindus, maybe you're using satsang and who's your guru. Maybe you're using Corbani plan of salvation. Discipleship, you're using 3/3 and commands of Christ. Whatever it is, you're just committing to what you believe to be a best practice. And then two, just some of that longer explanation there is just talking about having multiple pathways to be utilized for entry in gospel. You just don't need one pathway for entry in gospel. But whenever I'm saying one gospel tool, whenever you're thinking about training and modeling. And then kind of move back to the left side there is tracking. And we'll unpack some of this as well, but looking at what phase you're in and understanding that the phase that you're in, so we've called like adoption or pre-entry, gospel, believers, church, exit, and trust. We're identifying the phase. And then as a localized team, you're setting measurables for the month or the quarter. And then once you get to groups, believers, churches, we want to help you start to use gen mapping to track health for coaching. So that's the tracking piece. So just a front and back of this document is going to help you develop a 3 to 6 month plan. So you see it tonight. You see how the 5 T's all fit there. So part of that is making a plan and then looking, how's the plan working? And then you just have this consistent process where you're setting goals, you're measuring, you're encountering, hey, how's this working? You're saying, who am I training? Who am I investing in? What are my prayer points? All of that's on this living document. So at the end, you will have a completed 3 to 6 month plan.